What's up, Gear Mortals? Trey Xavier here. On today's edition of Gear Gods Quality Control, we're going to be taking a look at the Electro-Harmonix bass DI and preamp known as the Battalion. So the Battalion is meant to be sort of an all-in-one, one-stop shop for your bass guitar. It's a preamp and a DI. It has distortion, compression, and a built-in gate, all in this one reasonably compact pedal. Even better, it has a foot switchable distortion and a foot switchable bypass so that you can bypass it altogether. The bass I'm using today is this Acacia Atlas bass with Seymour Duncan active pickups. First of all, here's the sound of my bass, completely clean with no processing on it at all. In my mind, the coolest part about this pedal is the three different options for where you can put the distortion. It's got a pre-EQ, a post-EQ, and a dry EQ. My favorite is the dry EQ selection because it allows you to have the clean part affected by the EQ and the distortion part not affected by the EQ. What I've done is I've rolled off the treble and the high mids for the clean signal, and then with the dry EQ, the distorted sound is unaffected by the EQ. So what we have is this nice blend of a big fat clean low end and then this sort of layer of distortion on top. And that's really great for metal. It's extremely handy having a gate built right in. I think the only shortcoming of this particular gate is that there's no way to adjust the sustain. So anytime you hit a note, it takes a little while for the gate to kick in and close. But I have it set right about in the middle right now, and basically none of my finger noise is coming through before I hit a note. Once you hit the note, the gate opens up, and then it's got just a little bit too long of a sustain. I wish there was just one more knob where we could change that to get some really quick stops and starts. Another really impressive feature of the pedal is multiple outputs. We have a regular output that gives you the full sound of the pedal, a DI output, which is basically just the through signal, and then a dry output, which is the same through signal but in a 1/4 inch output instead of an XLR like the DI output. Let's see what it sounds like with the distortion kind of all the way up. It's very angry. This is with the blend knob all the way up, which means all we're hearing right now is the distorted signal with none of the clean. Now let's dial the blend knob back a lot to get a very clean sound with just a little bit of an edge. When it comes to bass, I personally love a very, very smashed, very compressed sound. So far, I've had the compression all the way up the whole time, and it's really giving me a very nice, even sound across the board, as long as I hit it nice and hard, which you should definitely do if you're playing metal or rock bass. But of course, you can dial it way back if you play in a more dynamic style. Let's try that right now. Let's try it with the blend all the way down to the clean sound and with a slightly more full EQ. Then let's crank up the compression and try out some slap bass. I'm not really that great at slap bass, but I'm gonna give it a shot. In post EQ mode, it applies the distortion after the EQ section to the entire signal, depending on where you have the blend set. With separate output volumes for the regular output and the DI output, you get a ton of flexibility over routing your signal, splitting it out to different types of sounds, and really controlling the kind of bass tone that you're getting. The Battalion gives you just a ton of flexibility, a bunch of really great sounds, everything from very subtle or extremely clean sounds to very, very distorted, metallic, heavy stuff with a lot of compression and a pretty good gate. Definitely one of the better one knob gates I've tried. It could be basically your entire bass rig if you're going DI. This could be the whole sound of your bass for just about any style of music. So if you're looking for an all-in-one kind of bass solution, the Battalion is a great place to start. It's also extremely reasonably priced compared to many of the competition's pedals. So I highly recommend you check it out. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe for more reviews and original content, and I'll see you real soon.